We now have a lot more people coming and going through the office and using it in a much more flexible manner. Allowing people this locker system has been a great benefit. I was fortunate enough to be on the committee that was responsible for the building from its inception. So we reviewed some of the other locker options out there. We saw what fit with our aesthetic, and I really got to see the process from the ground up. The original plan we were going to do like a massive, here in our break area, this is going to be this massive wall of 150 lockers, and your consultants actually were, hey, that may not be the best idea, and here's some reasoning behind it, and showed us some kind of case studies and pictures, and yeah, it opened our eyes, so to speak. At the time, we were trying to build a very tech-forward, very user-friendly office experience, and that for us meant being able to tie our access control in with the locker system, and you were one of the only ones that offered that, and it was a seamless experience. So from a user's perspective, you can come in with one key fob and you can access a building, you can access your lockers, and behind the scenes it's seamless for our IT staff to manage as well. Yeah, in our fitness area, we see about a 95% utilization. I mean, just given the nature of our business and staff, somebody is always in our fitness area. On the upstairs, because we have such a flexible office arrangement, our utilization's usually around that 50% mark, which is honestly acceptable for us because again, we have about a 3-to-1 ratio of staff to lockers. So, having a lower utilization means effectively more people have an opportunity to use the system. So for us, it works. That may change as we explore office flexibility and, office priorities, but for now, we believe that it's the best solution. So we have some staff that, they have reached a point where it makes more sense to assign them something permanently. Felicia, the other interviewee, was a wonderful example. She is a bike commuter, so she rides her bike in, daily. That's her, form of transportation. So we've assigned her a locker permanently.
This was my first experience using a smart locker. I come from teaching, so it was a whole different world, and the old school, like actual knob lockers. So coming here, it was really cool to be able to just swipe my fob and get into a locker. When I started, I was rotating through them, so I would bring my stuff in every day and then go to whichever locker was assigned to me for that particular day. And now I've been set up so that I have a designated locker, which means I can leave things here, but it's really nice to just be able to swipe a fob and not have to worry about keys or combinations or anything like that, so that's been nice. So now that I have it assigned to me, I can leave things here, which is nice to not have to bring, shower stuff and towels and things every single day that I'm coming in to use the gym. So today, for example, I biked in, so I've got my bike helmet, my towel, and my change of clothes, and all of that stays in there. With winter coming, I'll be able to keep my coat in there and not have to drag everything up and downstairs as I'm working. So it makes it really easy for me to maneuver through the office without always having to have my backpack and my stuff kind of going with me everywhere I go. So, but yeah, primarily I use it for keeping stuff so that I'm able to come in, work out, shower, change, and go to work.
From an administrative sense, it's user management. New employees come in, we make sure to take that employee and put them into the system, get their email in there so that the notifications work. And then, outside of that, I'm also really surprised with how quickly the users were able to acclimate to the locker system. So in our previous office, we had a traditional lock and key based system. You checked the locker out, brought your own lock, and we dealt with it that way. So we were really able to leverage technology and provide a solution that, for the most part, was frictionless for the staff. They were able to just come in, use the badge that they already know and love, and get access to a locker system. The one advice I would have is, let your staff use your lockers before you write your policies. That was really our biggest pain point, is that we wrote all of this wonderful, in our mind, policy. We, as armchair quarterback, so to speak, sat in a committee room and wrote all of this wonderful policy, and then we released the lockers to our staff and found out that usage didn't match that at all. So I think if we had to do this again, we would have laid out some very rudimentary policies just to make sure that we are keeping the peace and making sure that the lockers are being utilized. But we would have spent 90 days letting our staff utilize the lockers before we wrote policies around their usage and maybe the assignments and time periods and things like that.
I think the coolest thing is being able to use both the fob and the phone. I really do. The fact that no one, like I said, no one's going to forget their phone, so you always have access to it. It always happens where you forget your keys somewhere. And whether that's your car keys or your office keys or your home keys, you're going to forget them at some point and get locked out. It doesn't happen with a phone because we're attached to them. They're always with us.
You couldn't really ask for much more in a customer journey. They were there from the beginning, from inception, when we designed the system, how many lockers, placement, pads and everything. The installation was just as smooth. The Patterson Pope and your team are wonderful when we reach out and we need support, or, hey, does it do this? Or can we, we have this weird use case. Can you, see if that's a possibility? Been wonderful at saying, oh yeah, there's this option, and maybe it doesn't work exactly like that, but there's where there's a will, there's a way, is always the motto that we've been working under. Honestly, you couldn't ask for much more in a relationship.